Bemis, McKean, Gooding, and yeah, Tuttle Hill and Hitchingham Road. Yeah, we
Lots of
found
mattresses.
lots
How
of
many mattresses?
several mattresses. What, 4, 6 mattresses?
I mean,
How,
Jeff and I
how
had a
many
couple.
tires?
There had to be like 13 tires.
Yeah, at least
And then I
13
think people, because Jeff and I noticed that there were more tires on top. Like, that's always a concern. Like, we don't broadcast for a reason that we have a dumpster, because the dumpster is not for the community per se, which is, you know, the county and the community have other things for use to throw away extra items, but we don't do it because there is enough trash in the area to fill. And taking the break, and we'll probably need another dumpster about that size over the winter, because people are just going to be out and, you know, doing what they do.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to stay because this ends these 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm disappointed that Vic left, because I was hoping that he would have some update for the gun range. You know, I'm just curious, the following up, Eileen, what's the board's next steps? Hopefully you'll have a response on that. As the board requested, they decided, the last board, not this board, but during the special meeting on the 11th, the board decided to give Mylan one more chance to discuss the range at their 11/19 meeting, even though the residents that attended that meeting voiced concern that Mylan does not care to respond to or respect Augusta on this matter. They did not cover any part, Mylan did not cover any part of that topic at their meeting on the 19th. According to our attorney, if the township filed a legal motion against Mylan, that would force communication between the two entities and reveal issues like what types of guns they are shooting and the shooting schedule. If this board chooses against making any legal motions, you are sending a message to residents and surrounding communities that anything goes in Augusta. If that is the direction you want to take the township, that is your prerogative, and apparently one that many residents support. I hope that is not the case. That's my comment on the gun range. My next statement is, like, if the board plans to follow through on removing the junkyard in downtown Willis and other ordinance violations that were in process from the previous board. And then my last comment is about Carlisle Wortman. If December's meeting is canceled, the Planning Commission will have only held 6 meetings throughout 2024. Laura Krebs will tell you that she is not the only one that cancels the meetings. The PC chair is in agreement to cancel. But when you have an expert telling you materials aren't ready or there are no agenda items to discuss, you tend to take that expert's word for it. There are so many things to sort through from a planning perspective in this township, and we will never become proactive with an agency that doesn't share the same vision to get things done in a timely manner. So my items with Carlisle Wortman. Major discrepancy in the township's master plan versus actual zoning. Carlisle Wortman didn't catch the discrepancy, the last board did, referring to the agricultural district, for example. We need a partner that is proactive in leading Augusta to a future vision of the township that the residents want. Number 2, the gun range. CW has told us repeatedly that they knew nothing about the gun range. John Enos knew, Laura Krebs knew, yet neither of them thought it important to share what Mylan was planning. Most companies have weekly team meetings to discuss their client's business, run by leadership. Apparently this is not how CW operates, as Enos could have given Laura a heads up or asked for status on the project, since CW represents both Mylan and Augusta, which is a conflict of interest. Third, at the October meeting, the Planning Commission was working on updating the solar ordinance to include battery storage systems. The preference is not to have the township saddled with these controversial systems. Then the topic moved on to industrial wind farms. Laura Krebs said, if the township doesn't want wind farms, then we don't need an ordinance, because no ordinance means they are not allowed. So what happened with solar then, if that is the case? Did a previous board want to bring solar into Augusta? If not, why didn't Laura Krebs speak up at that time to say an ordinance wasn't needed? So Augusta deserves a planning agency that works on behalf of the entire community and not their own interests or agendas. For these reasons, I would like to request the board research replacement for Carlisle Wortman. Thank you.
Pete, you got something to say, boss?
Yes, I do. First off, congratulations to each and every one of you. Hopefully this board will be the first board to move this township forward. I especially want to thank or congratulate Mike, Keith, Stephanie, and Todd. As I've done in the past, I've got knowledge. You want it, you got it. I don't care if you like me or dislike me, or if I like you or dislike you. Anything you guys need, and if I've got the answer, you got the answer. The percentage of losses, I didn't really hear Alan, because you guys have no mics or anything. Hopefully at the next meeting you got mics. I see you shake your head, Alan.
I don't think it'll be ready by next meeting.
Okay.
That's in 2 weeks.
The members need, and Kim, I know we talked about this at another meeting, MTA class for the new board members to make sure they get all their books and the red book and the clerks, the supervisor and the trustees books. I tried to write it down. I don't think you made a complete motion. I see it on the paper about Alan continuing to further notice. But up above it, it says Alan Castle will stay in his current position as deputy supervisor with current responsibilities to assist in the transition of the new board. The deputy supervisor position and responsibilities will be defined once the board has settled in. So I don't think the motion was made that clear. It's my opinion. In one of your meetings, your last meetings, number 13, I don't know which one this was, Kim, or any of you. I don't know which it was, but you adopted a purchasing resolution. And I'd like to know why that was done, if you could answer that. I know it was on the meeting minutes. Then you okayed, without going out for bids, when you guys are done, let me know.
Go ahead, I'm done.
Okay?
Sorry, Pete.
No, not a problem. And then you had another motion by, it doesn't matter who, to hire a trucking company and excavating on $189,000, $794,000 to do water valve replacement. I guess, why didn't you go out for bids? Should have went out for bids, and I don't believe it did. And I'll be done here shortly. I think I got one more. When you have a special closed session meeting, and you did have it covered a little, but you should put the reason you're going into closed session. No different you did last month for Mitchell Storage. It said closed session for Mitchell Storage. You know, you need to, according to what I've read, you need to put what you're going in closed session for and who for. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Anybody else got anything they need to say?
I do.
Come on.
My name's Rodney Taylor. I live at 10844 Talladay Road. And congratulations, you guys winning. I know everybody ran on that the old board was not transparent. And I hope you guys are gonna keep your promises. You said you're gonna be very open and transparent. And this one's for you, Mr. Waller. I know you are good friends with Mitchell Storage, and I know you have financial incentives where you were bringing in the stuff to his yard behind my house. Will you recuse yourself from any decisions towards Mitchell Storage? And since the township has a lawsuit against you, will you recuse yourself and not make any decisions to that, let all the other members? So I'm not saying you're not gonna do it right, but just for the appearance, it should be done by people that don't have any investment in any of these, stuff. And at the last meeting, me and you talked about, you were looking at my property, and you said that it didn't look like there was no flooding or nothing. Oh, I got all the proof you want. I can send you all the videos. My property did not flood like that until he dug up behind my house. And another thing about that, you guys were just talking about this new complaint thing. I always put my name on complaints, but what happens when somebody up here, just say, any of you guys, neighbor makes a complaint out against you? How aren't you're gonna know who made that complaint right off the bat, and that don't make no sense. So anybody, I could care less. I put my name on everything, but there's a lot of people that I know that would just say, I'm not putting that down. I'm not showing you my license, because then they're gonna be reprisals against me. people in high powers, they always push it a little too far. So you shouldn't put anybody in the situation where they're feeling scared about their government. When I made my first complaint ever in my life to a township, city, or anything, it was the Mitchell storage. You know what the remark was I got from when I made the complaint? Watch your back, the man's worth $12 million. And then nobody would do nothing. So I called the county, and the county said, oh, we're gonna take care of this. Then I get a call back from the township saying, how dare you bypass us and go to the county? This is stuff that can happen when somebody makes a complaint. People feel scared nowadays. What's not something gonna happen to them, especially when you're giving your license and stuff? Like I said, I put mine on all the complaints. I don't care. But there are people that do worry about their family and stuff. Maybe something's gonna happen to them. Maybe they're gonna start getting, wrong accusations made by them and sending out the guy to put a ticket on their house. I think you should really think hard in that, because you gotta remember, Ralph Pelosa, the last guy that did sent out the tickets and stuff, he looked at me and says, Rodney, you better watch your back now that you made this complaint. He says, I'm not saying that to scare you from the township, I'm telling you because I was followed home by somebody. I put a ticket on their house and they were gonna kill me, they told me. And this is the stuff we're dealing with now. It's a different world. It ain't back 30 years ago. And now that this Mitchell's thing is over, all the papers are signed, when you were walking back there to look at the flooding, did you see all the illegal secondary businesses running out of there when you walked back there? Now that this stuff's complained, when are all those secondary businesses gonna be shut down and out of there? Because the way I understood when it was signed by the judge, which was over a week ago, this would all come to an end. And I know now too, I asked all the original board members, I said, are they at a start date and an end date he has to do to fix the flooding? And nobody would answer me. So now it's all going back to when he's got the right to put those 5 buildings in now behind my yard. And he don't have to do anything the way I'm understanding it. I'm not no attorney or nothing. He don't have to do anything until he puts.
3 minutes is up.
That's up to these guys to tell me that. Yeah, I was one look at thing. It's gotta go to the planning commission. So if he waits until 2030 to put these buildings up, he don't have to fix none of the problems until 2030. Is that correct?
Very good.
Okay.
Anybody else got anything?
Good evening. My name is Robert Yerk. I currently serve on the Planning Commission, currently as chair. Wanted to congratulate all the officers and trustees on your election or your re-election. Say that I'm looking forward to working with this board to continue to work with residents on matters that would come to the Planning Commission. There are still a few outstanding ordinance matters that I'm hoping don't get lost in the transition on behalf of the residents that are affected by those, and then look forward to any new cases that may come forward and working with you all, like I say, on behalf of the residents. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have one thing. By the way, congratulations, but I've already said that to all of you anyway. It is pretty unprecedented to limit public comments in municipal meetings. And I just want to say that because for a board that has campaigned on transparency and being responsive to the needs of residents, to say, we don't want to hear what you have to say to us unless it's just on the agenda right off the bat, I think gives a lousy message. That's just my personal opinion, but I think a couple other people here actually think that too. So you might want to reconsider it, you might not, but I don't know of any other municipality that does that. And I go to a lot of meetings throughout the county. So that's my thing.
Thank you. Anybody else got anything? No? So then I guess that we're gonna end the public comment at, 8:50? We'll start board response. Would you like to start?
Sure. So thank you to the green team, everybody who helped do that, that's wonderful. So I would say about our planners, our planning, any of our paid professionals take direction from the board or the boards. And they don't just, they are there for advice and guidance. So yeah, that's, as far as the purchasing agreement, now I'm gonna go to Pete. The purchasing agreement that we passed is per the auditors, and that was, they asked us to do that. It's the process that we followed for years, but we just never had it in writing. So that's why we did the purchasing agreement, to put it on paper and writing. As far as the MTA, yes, all the books have been ordered, they ran out of the red books, so they're coming when they get there. I've already given them their trustee books, their meeting books, and they're all signed up. I believe I got you guys all signed up already except Todd, yeah, MTA. We gotta figure out Todd's date. But yeah, get them to the MTA training. And also Linda's gonna do it as well. I got you signed up too. On the thing, we put current litigation, and I will check with them, with MTA. I was under the impression with the attorney letter that was fine, but I will talk to them actually at MTA and see what their thought is on that. I don't know that we have to list out each thing because, yeah. Okay, and you guys, you give us way too much credit. Personally, I don't feel like you understand that we're not going around the office and showing every complaint to every person. That's not how complaints are handled at the township. So I don't think if someone was to go in and complain about me, that I would even know. So I don't know. That kind of seems like you gave us way too much credit for that, Rodney. And the consent judgment is in place and it will be followed with Mitchell Storage. We have not just our engineers that are gonna be checking up on them, but the county as well, to make sure everything is done in the proper order. That's what we agreed to and that's what we'll do. We'll make sure it's followed through.
Yeah. As far as, thank you all for coming up here, first of all.
There's nothing on the gun range?
Just give me a second, boss. That was one of the first things that Keith and I worked on. We went yesterday, the day before yesterday, had a good meeting with Mylan. So we can't make any promises of what's gonna be going, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that you guys been bullshitted enough as it goes. But some of the information that you have is not correct. But we're working to rectify that. So things are in motion right now.
Can you share what was not correct?
Not as of right now, because we want to make sure, with no speculation and no second questioning, we want to make sure that everything is up to par. But it is something that's being worked on. There's plans to help lift some of that burden off of them.
Is the township gonna follow through on any of their orders?
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Go ahead.
You're saying some of the information that we've got is not correct?
It's not 100%.
Okay.
It's not 100%,
Okay,
but
I was just gonna say this because the information that the city gave you may not also be correct.
well, we spoke with the police department and chief over there. We had a good conversation with them.
I know the mayor, and I know he has not told the honest truth. And the chief of police, we've also talked to, and he also has told us, and the only word I'm gonna use is a lie.
Right, and you had
So-
bullshit, listen, you had bullshit on both sides.
Okay.
Simple as that, okay? From this side and from that side. Problem is, you're caught in the middle. We're gonna do what we can to rectify the problem. That's all we can tell you right now, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, so all I wanna know though is, that piece of property we know is zoned GI. I mean, we know that it is, as far back as we can go.
That's fine,
So
yeah.
that's where it starts.
Correct. And
Regardless of anything else that's going on, it starts in an area that is not zoned for guns.
But we don't know for sure all the details and the provisions that the law, as of right now. So we're working on that. But we ain't gonna be able to rectify any problems if you go out there scratching people's eyes out. We have to do this with in a calm fashion. And we know it's a pain in the ass.
Well, it's
But you
been
gotta give
7
us a
months.
chance. Okay, but I just been
And
here
Vic
for, Wendy, I just started 5 days ago. So we gotta give us a chance to work on this, and we're gonna do the best we can. That's what we can tell you right now. 2 weeks, hopefully we'll have some more information, but right now this is all we've got.
We had large discussions, long discussions back here, but unfortunately, because it's closed session, we can't explain, but I promise you, there was a lot of discussion. And
That's what took so
things are gonna
long.
get done.
That's what took up most of our evening, discussing that issue. So
Thank you.
that's not part of it. As far as the complaint goes, you have to show your driver's license to buy alcohol or cigarettes or whatever. We're cutting back on the phone calls, every 70 phone calls from the past issues that we've been having with the ordinance officer, having to make several complaints by those who decide to clan up on Facebook or whatever and make a bunch of complaints. So it actually protects you and everybody else in the community that they do this.
Yeah, I just watched what happened with Brian Shelby and with
Well, that's,
Alan Hall. With
that was yes.
Alan Hall. I'm just saying, yeah.
That was yes.
That's what I said.
That
I
was
gave you the
yesterday.
compliment. I said,
Very good.
you come in saying you're gonna be honest, and I'm gonna give you 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll see, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I appreciate,
quite
I appreciate you
Yeah.
giving me something there, Bob.
Well,
Listen
that's-
here, here's another thing too, and with
I'm
that,
sorry,
what
Dick.
she says. Maybe it's unorthodox to have the, public comment toward the end. As well, you go to a lot of meetings, I know from different areas, Belleville for one, that does the same thing. Put the public comment toward the end. What that does is it sets a tone for people who have their emotions involved and instead of their job. So when you get in here and you start cackling and fighting amongst one another, you can't focus on what's happening. So, if you can wait, you have plenty of time to speak what you need to say. If you don't get it out then, you can call. But we don't have any time around here anymore. What happened yesterday is not gonna happen today. That cackling and back and forth is not gonna go on here. So that's why public comment is at the end now, except for on the agenda issues. It's not to stop your voice, it's not to hold you back. You had the chance to talk. Everyone in here has a chance to talk. And if you have anything else to say, you can call tomorrow.
And we're always available for phone calls as well at the township or emails. Everybody on the board is.
All right?
And I can tell you, Rodney, I've been on the board, 5.5, 6 years now. I've never seen one complaint that was ever put out. Nothing has ever been shown.
Yeah.
It just worries me for people. A lot of people are timid and they don't like I said, you guys know my name's been on everything I put down in there. I believe in what I put down, but they are people that are timid that they worry about things, you know, and I feel bad for them people.
Well, and like I said, my concern is making sure that nothing is ever told to anybody when that complaint was done. But again, like you're talking about, if someone made a complaint that we're gonna know who did, I've never seen one complaint, ever. There's, even with all the cases that's going on, we don't see the complaint that's done on that. So I can assure you, we're not just sitting around going through and
Yeah,
talking and showing complaints.
It's good to hear that, because like I said, it wasn't me, I was just worried about the other people. You've seen my name on everything. I believe in what I say, I put my name on it.
Does anybody else got anything? It's 9 o'clock.
I wanted to say one thing, Rodney. So I shared a lot of your concerns, what you just spoke about tonight, and I was talked to very thoroughly about all the steps that would probably Mitchell's would go through to, do what he needed to do to fix everything before he could proceed. The checking that was going to be done, and I think it was also said to me that if there was a period of time that had elapsed and there was nothing going on, or, and I don't know what that period of time was, but there was no progress or anything, that it would be checked up on. Like, I don't see Mitchell waiting 3 years to do
Can you
anything.
email me that section of that? Because I didn't.
Well,
see it.
no, that was told to me verbally, but what
Okay.
but I wanna reassure you, I was reassured that I think there's gonna be enough checking in place, and that it has to also go through the planning commission before he can proceed with the new, because that was a big concern of mine, was starting on the new before the old was finished, and the time period that you were talking about. So I just wanna tell you, I was reassured.
Okay, so if
And
this
I-
goes
and I
out a year
talked-
from now, you'll back me up on it and get it going?
What's that?
If this goes out like 6 months or a year with nothing happening, are you gonna get on it?
Well, I don't think it will go that long.
Okay, but if it did, I got your, you'll be stepping in.
Well, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's all I
would
need.
check on it
Good.
for sure, actually, before then, but,
Good deal.
but I just wanna say that I feel good about it, and I just wanna tell you,
That
I
makes-
can't say, absolutely.
Yeah, I know that. You make me happy.
But I
That's
followed
good.
up.
That's being honest. That's all I want.
So,
And the county
yeah.
does have to follow up with them as
Yeah.
well. We've been assured the county is gonna be keeping up with checking up on things as well. So there is things in place for it to do what it's
Yeah,
supposed to be doing.
County, the township, the engineer, and they assured me that
That's most
things
like
are gonna
33
be
years you
checked
just gave me.
and double checked, yeah,
I appreciate it.
yeah.
All right, anybody else? Motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much, everybody. Be patient with us. Give us just a minute. I'll talk to you.
I'll second.
Second.
9:05. Here to 10.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank